In a recent video I did about my tech stack, I told you that I'm using Circle Paywalls, and in this video I want to tell you why and show you why I'm using Circle Paywalls and why they have been transformative in simplifying my tech stack. I'm recording this literally on the same day that I am making these paywalls and working on this transition. Right now, all of these are still sold by SureCart. Perhaps they'll still be sold through SureCart even when this video goes live. And you can see here, nobody's purchased them. Well, I do have 2 purchases of the All Access Pass. That's been in the last 3 days or so. But essentially, I'm moving all of my courses into Circle, which you can check out. I got to do this here, right? Video up there somewhere about my new tech stack and why I'm putting courses inside of Circle. But essentially, I'm going to create a paywall for each of my courses so that people can buy them individually. And really, to understand that, you have to understand the nature of how I historically have really run my business. I make lots of changes. I like to test things. I like to add things, take things away, move things around. For example, in my Circle community alone, I have had different spaces that I've collapsed and closed and opened up. For example, if I jump over here, let me put myself in a pip again. I used to have individual spaces for Astra and Spectra, Thrive Suite, SureCart, High Level, even others. And over the years, and yes, years, I've used Circle for my community now since 2020. I believe 2020. I think the second half of 2020. Anyway, so all these used to have their own spaces, and for example, Thrive Suite had thousands of posts. And now what you can do is inside of Circle, they released a new feature recently where you can add topics. So you can come into the discussion and the tech help section and say, oh, I've got a question about Thrive Suite. Post it, tag it, or topic it as Thrive Suite, ask it in the community and get it answered. Or you can pop into the all section and view everything or dig deeper and say, oh, I'm interested in High Level or, SureCart or anything like that. SureCart I just literally added today. So there's nothing there. I have to, unfortunately, migrate all of the SureCart posts over, which is now easier to do in Circle because of an update that they did. But not to go on a tangent, though, that's a big change, right? Posts in various spaces and under different spaces and space groups. Now, why is that an issue? Well, I'm going to show you. So here is my SureTriggers account where I have, up until just a couple of days ago, been granting access to those that purchase my All Access Pass through SureCart. You can see here, purchase created, add to or invite to the community, and then I do some high-level stuff. But here inside of SureTriggers has been one of the more complex parts of using a third-party tool to sell access into Circle. The first one, as you can see here, being granting access to space groups and to spaces, and have historically been having to add people into space groups. And you can see here, I've got tech discussion, mastermind all access, member hub courses, and accelerators. Interestingly enough, some of those don't even exist anymore. Jumping back over to the community, there isn't a mastermind all access space group anymore. There's only a discussion space group, and courses is entirely new, and member hub exists. That's a change I did a few months ago. But accelerators, I closed down that space group because I'm migrating things into different spaces. So I would have to literally every time I made a change to my community inside of Circle, which happens a lot, I'd have to come back in and update not only this automation to essentially give people access to the right spaces and not into ones that no longer exist, but also back when this was a subscription. I've since done away with the subscription, and this isn't currently a lifetime deal. But I also have another product coming out, which is like a community membership, and that will be a subscription. Check out this cancellation workflow. I was running my products through SureCart, right? Subscription canceled. That's phenomenal. Only for this product. And then do this, right? Remove from this space group, remove from that space group, remove from this tag. And this wasn't even, this is a bad example because this is only 2. Unfortunately, SureTriggers, because I was wanting to use so much of SureTriggers, and this might change, but they only let you select one space group at a time when you use the remove from space group option. So I was literally having to go in and add an action for how many of my space groups do I have now? I have 1, 2, 3 space groups, but that's just for All Access Pass. I'm selling all of my courses individually. I would have to have created different automations kept them up to date for every course. You can kind of see how that would very quickly balloon into 30 plus automations by the time I was done with it. And that's because I have to have add and cancel or refund or whatever it might be for all of these. And that was just becoming such a massive headache and a task. And I alluded to this just inability to organize myself properly to make that happen. And so I realized using a WordPress based checkout tool, SureCart, although a phenomenal product, and I have videos all about upgrade groups, it's a phenomenal product. But unfortunately, they just didn't make technological sense. It didn't technically make sense for me to do compared to paywalls, because let me show you, that was the SureTrigger side. Now let me show you what it looks like when I make changes on the paywall side. So check this out. Inside of a paywall here, inside of Circle, all I have to do is go to the Access tab, and I can give access to products that people purchased. Here's a good example. I just added my Thrive Suite course bundle. Let me go ahead and click the Add button, and then click Save. So I'm basically adding that course to the paywall so that people that purchase this paywall get access to that course bundle. But take a look at this little update space access that comes up. It says, do you want to update space access settings for existing subscribers of this paywall? So we already know that adding it affects future, but I can also, with the click of a button, yes, give anyone who has historically purchased this paywall access to everything. So with the click of a button, I have literally, and I can do this for every paywall, just go in, add, remove, do whatever I want, and have that be retroactive in addition to the future. Mind blown how simplified that is compared to historically the duct tape. It's not duct tape. I talked about that in my tech stack solution, but it felt like a duct tape solution. Okay, so that paints the picture of the automation side of things, having to add people, remove people, how difficult that was to keep track of changes to the community in all of my various automations, and how simple it is on the paywall side and Circle for me to just be like, yeah, these people do or don't get access to this thing. Done, right? Wipe your hands of it. But on the other system, in the SureCart method, or would insert any third-party tool, so it's not a SureCart related thing, insert any third-party tool selling access into Circle via Zapier or SureTriggers, it's irrelevant. What do you do about the people who have retroactively purchased your product? So historically, I have all of these, 176 people or whatever that were in my membership. And it's like, okay, well, I want to change their access. How do I do it? There is no way. So I was having to literally export CSVs, re-import CSVs. And I've actually got a video coming on that soon because sadly, so many of my members, 100 and something, have historically purchased a non-paywall version of access to my community. So for all of those people, when I literally took away all these spaces and moved them all in here or added new courses, how do they get access? Well, I have to export a CSV of all the people who have been in the membership and then re-import that CSV into another tool to update them. And I was having to do that literally multiple times a week, and it was just killing my soul having to do that. It's not really a fault of Circle, right? For all Circle knows, these were manually added people. It's just a third-party integration that's dumping people into a space group. Circle did the job. It gave the API access to it, but I had no way of doing it other than having to basically manually change people's access. And what an unsustainable nightmare. So paywalls moving forward, not going to be an issue because historically I haven't been using paywalls. They weren't even available in the first 3 years that I was using this anyway. I have all these people that I now need to manually still continue to update in the future. Or what I think I'm going to do is I'm going to email everybody and say, hey, here's a 100% off coupon. I need you to, quote, buy this paywall. It'll zero it out for you because I need your account in the community here at Convology to be associated with this paywall. And then once that happens, everyone's life is now simplified, including mine. So I know that this wasn't really like a how-to video or a tutorial, sort of a departure from my normal type of video, but it's so important that I help people understand why I would choose to pay an additional, depending on what plan you're on, 1% to 2% processing fees in addition to Stripe. And that's exactly why. If I plan to grow my business where I'm having several hundred people on a plan with me, and in the future have thousands of members, it's not sustainable to manage that through a set of third-party automations and integrations, despite how great they work. For my particular setup where I make changes to my community, not really feasible. Now, I would say if you plan to set up a community and literally make no changes for the rest of your life, yeah, third-party integration makes a lot of sense. Save that 1 to 2%, fantastic. Just not for me, right? I do too much, I make too many changes, and I love the retroactive simplicity of paywalls inside of Circle. So that is why I use them.